Latent heat of fusion vaporization, is that clear to you, everyone? First
Yes,
turn on
ma'am.
your camera.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn on your camera. Vignesh, can you tell the definition of latent heat of fusion?
Ma'am, the amount of energy required for changing 1 kg of solid into liquid, ma'am.
Liquid, but again, half marks for this answer. Very important part you left.
Ma'am, its melting is at constant atmospheric pressure.
And Tanishi, proper definition?
Yes, ma'am. Latent heat of fusion, right?
Yeah, latent heat of fusion.
Ma'am, so it is the amount of heat energy required by 1 kg of solid to convert into liquid state at its melting point and at constant atmospheric pressure.
So don't read now. Next time you have to learn and tell that, right? You have to remember immediately. Should not read. This is a very simple things. If you learn that much, then there will be pressure at the time of exams. The pressure will be less. So less parts are there. If you start working every day, then there will not be a pressure will build up at the time of exam. Otherwise, you will feel panic. That is how much thing I need to work on. That will not happen then. So slowly, right now you have holidays till school have not been started for some school students. So you can start slowly. Every day you have a time, every day 1 hour maths, 1 hour science, at least you have to take out time and need to work on that. Okay. Start reading the chapter clearly. So once the chapter will be done, it will be easier for you after that. Okay, for everyone, this is not only for one student, it is for everyone. Okay. Then Arjun, can you tell the latent heat of vaporization definition? Arjun, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Latent heat of vaporization definition.
It is the amount of heat required to change one liquid into a vapor state.
No full marks. Tanmay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, definition.
Ma'am, I'm not sure with it.
Why you are not sure with it? One single definition you can't remember?
Ma'am, can I just
Shrutayu? Shrutayu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, definition. You have raised hand.
Ma'am, I do not remember.
You're also not working. You people have to remember what you have done in the last class before coming here. Revise once. 10-15 minutes it will take to revise. Yes, Sanjit?
ma'am, it's latent heat of vaporization or
Vaporization.
it's the amount of heat taken to change 1 kg of liquid to its gases form.
Gases. At
Latent heat of vaporization.
not fully.
At boiling point.
At its boiling point and at constant atmospheric pressure. The temperature remains constant and the pressure has to be maintained constant. If those words are not there, you will not get full marks for your answer. Amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of liquid to vapor or gaseous state at its boiling point and at its atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of vaporization. Another question asked on this part is why the temperature remain constant during change of state? A 2-mark question again asked many times. Why do the temperature remain constant at the change of state? Sai Shankar?
So that they can overcome the force of attraction between the molecules and change its state.
Change of state. So temperature is maintained constant because there is no change in the kinetic energy of the particles. The supplied heat energy is utilized to overcome the force of attraction. So therefore, there is no change in the temperature, kinetic energy. So therefore, no change in the temperature. So therefore, temperature remains same during change of state. So write down that point. Definition both you have written, right? Latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. So here the temperature remain constant. During change of state. Justify. Reason is supplied heat energy is used to overcome force of attraction. Supplied heat energy is used to overcome the force of attraction and to change state. Hence, there is no change in kinetic energy of particles. So, no change in temperature. Now we have to see the next type of change in state. We have seen that right now. Till now we have seen solid gets converted into liquid. Solid gets converted into liquid by heating. That is increasing temperature, and that process is called as melting, right? Then liquid gets converted into gas by again the process of heating. That is changing, increasing temperature, and that process is called as boiling or vaporization. Now gas to liquid is done by conversion from gas to liquid is by
Condensation.
condensation, and that happens by cooling, decreasing temperature, right? And then liquid gets converted into solid by again cooling, more cooling gets converted into solid, and this is called as solidification or freezing. Okay. Now this is one by one. Solid has to be converted into liquid, and liquid then converted into gas. Slowly that happens step by step. But there are some solids which on heating, instead of going into liquid, they directly convert into gaseous state. There are some substances, some solid substances, which on heating, instead of going into liquid state, they directly gets converted into gaseous state. So such solids are called sublimable solids or sublimable substances. Sublimation. That process is called as sublimation.
Ma'am, like camphor.
Yes, camphor. So sublimable solids, substances. Sublimable substances are those substances which on heating, instead of converting into liquid, they gets converted into gaseous state. So such substances we call as sublimable substance. Example is naphthalene ball. Have you seen? Have you seen the naphthalene ball? We generally use it in cupboard for in disinfecting area. If the cupboard, this in the papers or clothes actually attacked by mites, they get attacked by very small fungus or mites. So to prevent that attack from the microorganisms, there is a one disinfectant we keep it. It is a white color ball like structure, tablet, a big size, very strong smell, and that is placed inside the cupboard. So it will always attack the cloth and the paper with by from the moth. Okay, so that naphthalene ball, when you keep it inside the cupboard, and if you open the cupboard, the same naphthalene ball, you try to find out, you won't get. You have placed the naphthalene ball open in one of the cupboard, and after 2-3 months, if you start searching it, you might get that ball with very small size, or maybe you won't get it. So what happened to that? What happened to that solid? Where it has gone?
It turned into
It
gas.
evaporated.
No, you can't use the word evaporated.
It turned into gaseous form.
It turned into gaseous state solely. Atmospheric heat, atmospheric temperature, how much ever it was there. So it absorbs the heat energy and converted into gaseous state. So this is called sublimation process. Conversion of conversion of solid into directly into gaseous state without undergoing liquid state is called sublimation. Dhruva, can you mute your mic? Sublimation substances, sublimable substances, substances which on heating get converted into gaseous state instead of liquid state. Are called as sublimable substances, and the process in which solid gets converted into gas without undergoing liquid state is called sublimation. Example is naphthalene ball. Ammonium chloride.
Ma'am, even dry ice, no?
Yes, dry ice. Dry ice is actually the solid carbon dioxide. Iodine, camphor. Humor. Camphor, etc. So these are the substances. They are binded with very weak force of attraction between them, but yet that force is sufficient for the atoms to bind together and convert into solid state. So why this happens? Why not they undergo the liquid state? What is the reason behind that? Why when you heat it immediately, or if you don't heat, atmosphere also you keep it, camphor, we keep it in outside. You have a camphor, we use it kapoor in puja. So that kapoor, take out one of the tablet of that, one of the piece of that, and keep it outside. And in 1 or 2 days, you see the size of it. Without burning, you have to keep it as it is. And then after 1 or 2 days, you will see the size of that has reduced. It get D-shaped. So that is because the camphor absorbs heat energy from the atmospheric particles and converts into gaseous state directly. Without burning also, it gets converted into gaseous state. So therefore, camphor is said to be sublimable substance. Same thing happened with ammonium chloride. But ammonium chloride, only thing that is we need to heat it. To see it faster, we need to heat it. So keep the diagram here. So this is the thing we have to do to check the ammonium chloride's conversion into solid to gas. And when you cool down the gaseous particles of this any sublimable substances, then also when they cool down, they won't undergo the liquid state. They won't get converted into liquid state. They will come back to solid state, right? So how to see that? So this is the experimental setup of seeing the sublimation of ammonium chloride. So we have kept a stand, asbestos, and then the china dish in which ammonium chloride is present. Over that one funnel, we have to invert. So that is all the vapors has to be captured inside this funnel. And the end of that funnel has to be plugged with cotton. So that is no vapor should escape out. So when we keep heating this ammonium chloride, for it is sublimable. So that much amount of heat energy, it gets converted into gaseous state. Immediately it starts, ammonium chloride starts converting into gaseous state, and these gaseous fumes will stuck to the neck of this funnel. So on the inner surface of the funnel, all these gases, the temperature is less. It is a glass. It is made up of glass. Glass is not a conductor of heat. So this glass is colder compared to the china dish. So therefore the vapors which have arisen upwards, they get cooled down on the surface of this funnel. So this gases condense. Now instead of liquid state, they gets converted into solid state. So all the particles can be stick to this inner surface of this funnel. So when we remove funnel, we can get back the ammonium chloride as it is. The same thing, you can check it with the camphor, you can check it with iodine, you can check it with naphthalene ball powder, you will get the same thing. When we heat it, we can see the fumes of those substances which moves upward, but due to the colder area, they will condense back to solid state. Okay, so this is the sublimation process. So conversion of solid to gas is called as sublimation. And cooling down of gas, the particles get converted back to solid state. That process is named as deposition. So conversion of solid to gas is called sublimation process. And converting back gas to solid is called deposition. By cooling. That happens by cooling. Clear? Process names clear? They will give you the diagram and they will ask you to write the names of the processes. They will show you the arrow, and on that arrow A, B, C, D, E, F is written, and you have to tell what is A, B, C, D and E, F, like this one. This is the question asked every time. So what are the names of A, B, C, D, E, F? Ashi, what is A?
Ma'am,
What is A?
melting.
Melting, okay. Tanmay, what is B?
Ma'am, it is cooling
No.
Can I?
and solidification.
Solidification. Solidification or freezing. Akshit, what is C? Akshit, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is C?
No, 1 second, ma'am. I can't hear. Can I rejoin?
Yeah. Abhinav? Abhinav, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is C?
I'm cooling.
C properly.
Can I?
Ma'am, can I say?
Abhinav, are you there? Arjun?
Boiling.
It's one by one. Yes, Arjun, you didn't tell.
Ma'am, boiling.
Boiling. Surya, D is
Ma'am, condensation.
condensation. Anurag, E,
Deposition.
deposition. And F, Mithun? Yes. Mithun, what's the F? Well, F is? What is the process F called? What is F is showing? Where to where arrow?
Solid. I mean solid to gas.
So solid to gas is called? Just now I told, no?
Can I say?
Mithun, where are you? Just now I told them that you are not knowing. Solid to gas is called? Conversion from solid to gas.
Can I tell?
Mithun, this should not be done. Suman?
Ma'am, solid.
Yes, Suman?
Yes, ma'am. Solid to liquid is
Solid to gas it is. F, process F.
solid to gas is boiling, ma'am. No, no. Oh, condensation.
And this is the class 6 portions. These are what I'm explaining is the class 6. Yes, Varun?
Sublimation.
Sublimation process. Students, still you are not serious. Please be serious. Time is not there for you people. Portion is very vast. And right now, if you are enjoying holiday, then it will be difficult to manage everything. I can find that most of you are enjoying holiday. Write down this then.
Ma'am, D is also called evaporation also. No?
No. Evaporation is different from boiling.
Done, ma'am.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
The next is the same changes. Whatever the changes we have seen, that happens by temperature changing, by amount of heat energy. Heating or cooling process, we are changing this. Now the same changes can be done by changing pressure as well. So how to change pressure, when to increase, when to decrease, so that the states can be changed. Solid gets converted into liquid by solid gets converted into liquid by, how can we change it? By heating, cooling?
Heating.
Heating.
By heating, that is temperature increases.
Increase.
So the temperature increment. Then liquid to gas by
Heating. Also. Temperature.
Heating.
heating again. That is by increasing temperature. Temperature increases when the liquid gets converted into gaseous state. Then now if we want to turn back gas into liquid, what we have to do? Temperature has to be
Pressure or
Low
temperature?
temperature.
I'm only asking about the temperature. So temperature will decrease. And the same thing, liquid to solid, if we want to change, then also we need to decrease temperature, right? Now the same changes we can do, instead of changing temperature, we can change the pressure to convert solid into liquid, liquid into gas. That is how to do. From solid to liquid, we are increasing temperature. The same change is done by decreasing pressure. Pressure on solid has to be decreased. Exactly reverse process of temperature change we have to do. So when on the solid, when the pressure is decreased, it gets converted into liquid state. Then liquid to gas also by releasing pressure. Pressure we have to decrease. Then the liquid gets converted into gas. And reverse, when the temperature is decreased to convert gas into liquid, the same change can be done by increasing pressure. Pressure is increased to convert gas to liquid. And again, the pressure has to be increased again to convert back liquid to solid. Able to understand? The change in which in temperature has to be increased, that change can be done by decreasing pressure. And the change where it is needed to decrease the temperature, that places we have to increase the pressure to change the same state. Now, everyday life, you have seen the example of this, liquid to gas and gas to liquid. You have seen your gas cylinders, LPG containers. Everyone, have you seen LPG containers in kitchen?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is inside that?
Liquefied petroleum gas.
What is it? So it is liquefied petroleum gas. Petroleum gas is obtained in the gaseous state. But while transporting, gas is very difficult to transport. So under pressure, by increasing pressure, the gas is converted into liquid. And the petroleum gas in the liquid state is filled into the cylinders. Able to understand this? So petroleum gas, which is obtained under the seabeds, so that is in the gaseous state. So transferring that is very much difficult because it can explode easily, can catch fire easily while transporting. So to make it easy to transport, this petroleum gas is under pressure, means pressure is applied on the petroleum gas so that it gets converted into liquid state. And in the liquid state, it is stored inside those cylinders, what we get. So therefore, the name is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Now, when you turn on the knob of the cylinder and knob of the gas stove, what happens? We have started releasing the pressure over that liquid. So when we open both the knobs, the pressure on we allowed the gas, that liquid to come out. So we have released the pressure over the gas, and due to which it will convert back to, liquid is converted back to gaseous state. And when we burn it with the help of matchstick, what we burn, that gas start burning and providing heat energy. It's clear. So when we release the pressure on the liquid, liquid gets converted back to gas and we keep burning gas. It's clear. So this is what the conversion which takes place. So to convert solid, when the pressure is applied, that means pressure is applied means what? We are compressing. So due to compression, what happens? Particles come more closer. So when we compress, that means when we increase pressure, the gas gets converted. Gas particles come closer, they become liquid. Again, when you increase pressure on liquid, again liquid particles comes more closer and therefore gets converted into solid. So that means in solid state, the particles have maximum pressure. Now, when you release the pressure over solid particles, they move away from each other. So therefore, it gets converted into liquid state, right? And again, all the pressure on the liquid state is reduced. It will convert to gaseous state. So gaseous state has minimum pressure, and in solid state, the pressure will be highest. Clear? So by changing pressure, we can convert one state, physical state, to another physical state. Okay. And now impurities. The presence of impurities will always affect the boiling point and the freezing point. If any water has liquid water has some impurities, then the boiling point of water will change. If the water, generally distilled water, boils at 100 degrees Celsius, but due to the presence of impurities, the gas, this water will boil at higher temperature. It won't, this will boil at 100 degrees Celsius. It will may boil at 105, 110, sometimes 125, sometimes 150 degrees Celsius also it boils. So boiling point increases by impurities, and by applying pressure also the boiling point will increase. By applying pressure, the boiling point will increase. That technique you have used, we have used in cookers. In cooker, the food is boiled very fast, very quick. Why? In cookers, the any substance get boiled very quickly. Why it happens? Why that happened? Why it will boil very quick? Outside, when we are in a container, when we keep boiling, so it will boil, it will take very long time to boil any substance. Any food is boiled, cooked, it takes long time. But in cooker, same process if you do, it will be done in 1/3 time, or maybe 1/4 time it will be done. Why that happened? Any idea?
Ma'am, pressure.
Yes, can you explain?
Ma'am, the pressure is decreased and all the molecules get, the force of attraction is less, so they get boiled then.
It will boil at higher this one, lesser duration of a time. So here for boiling, what is needed? Water is needed, right? For any substance to get cooked, water should be there. When we keep boiling any substance in a container, open container, so at that time, water gets boiled faster. 100 degrees Celsius, the temperature reaches, water gets converted into steam. And finally, no water left out. So the food get burnt also sometimes. Due to absence of water, the food get burnt. But in cooker, what happened? Cooker, you are not allowing water to move out. It will remain accumulated inside that cooker container. So due to that accumulation of pressure, so that means that gas applies pressure on the water. So due to increased pressure, the boiling point of water increases. So water will remain in the liquid state for longer duration. And due to presence of hot water, the food get cooked fast. It's clear? For cooking food, boiling food, we need water at higher temperature, but in the liquid state. And in cooker, we are building a pressure. The gas is not allowed, vapors are not allowed to escape. So that vapors are applying pressure on the substance, food, on the water. So therefore, water will remain in the liquid state. So therefore, it will be easy to get cooked. Food get cooked faster. Okay, is it clear? So effect of pressure, this question can be asked in the effect of pressure. So draw this diagram. Shreyas, are you there? Shreyas? Devratna? Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone completed and understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood these points, all change conversions? Have you understood? All the conversions clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Half of the students, I'm not getting any voice from you people. If you don't communicate, there will be no use of online classes. Anurag, Ashi, Mithun, Ruganka. If you people keep quiet, then there will no use of these classes. Any online class that will not be effective. Half of the people are not turning on camera as well. So how can we change the state of matter? What are the different methods by which we can change the state of matter? One is
Ma'am, evaporation, ma'am.
No evaporation. Changing state. Any state can be changed by.
Decrease in pressure.
Yes, right. Increase in pressure, changing pressure and changing temperature. Second method. Either we can change pressure or either we can change temperature, incrementing or decrementing. We are in general, we are seeing, I'm not asking you directly from solid to liquid how that change taken place. From all the states can be changed either by increasing or decreasing pressure. Second method by increasing or decreasing temperature. And third one is by doing both. At a time, the pressure as well as temperature can be increased or decreased. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the last point of this chapter left out, that is evaporation. So what do you mean by evaporation and how it is different from boiling? Evaporation and boiling actually both have the same methods, that is the conversion of liquid state to gaseous state. In both the processes, the physical state converts from liquid to gas. But there is some difference. What is that difference? When you boil a liquid, you need to provide external heat. You have to heat the substance, then only the full liquid gets converted into gaseous state. And all the particles at a time gets converted into gaseous state. And that will happen at constant temperature. But the process of evaporation is also the same, the process of conversion of liquid to gas. But at any temperature, it will take place at any temperature. And that temperature is always less than boiling point. The evaporation is the process of conversion of liquid to gas, but it will take place at any temperature below its boiling point. It don't need any constant temperature. It can take place at any temperature. At room temperature also we can see evaporation. Here what happened, in boiling, all the particles of the matter, its liquid matter, gets converted into gaseous state. But in evaporation, only the surface particles, the particles which are present on the surface, are getting converted into gaseous state, not the whole liquid. Slowly, layer by layer, the particles keep on moving into the gaseous state. This is called evaporation method. Able to understand? You might have seen swimming pool or a container having water. You have stored water in a container till this level. When you see next day, when it is exposed to sunlight or it is open container, in that you will see the next day level of water reduces to this. The level of water decreases. Why? What happens to these particles? These particles, whichever present at the upper surface, where these particles have gone, where that water has gone.
Ma'am, they evaporate.
It gets evaporated. It gets converted into gaseous state. And that happens because now we need every substance, every particle to change in state. It needs to absorb energy. Then what happens to these liquids then? From where these get energy? These particles get converted into gaseous state. So these particles need energy. So from where these particles got energy to convert into gaseous state? That is why two sources are there. One is the atmospheric temperature. Outside temperature is more. The particles in the air have more heat energy. So these particles which are present on the surface of the liquid absorb that heat energy. And second source, in this liquid, when this liquid is formed, they have absorbed latent heat. When solid particles we have heated, the temperature has not increased, only the state has been changed. So that heat is where that heat has gone. Where that absorbed heat energy gone, which is not converted into kinetic energy. So therefore it won't radiate into the surface area outside in air. So where that heat gone? That is a latent heat, right? So where that is latent heat, that will remain stored in the particles. So when solid gets converted into liquid, they have absorbed latent heat. So that latent heat was still present in the liquid particles. So when these particles the particles present on the surface wants to evaporate, they take heat energy, that latent heat, from the other particles. Able to understand? I want to go outside. I need money. From where I will get the money? I want to go outside. I need money for that. So from where I will get the money? I don't have the money. I have less. I need more amount of money. Or you people wants to move outside, go to movie with your friends. So you don't have money. So what you do? You take it from your parents. So parents have that. The same thing, these particles on the surface wants to move out of the liquid. They need energy. You need money, they need energy. So that energy, they will take it from the remaining liquid. Because every liquid, more than their limit, they have extra heat energy in the form of latent heat. So these surface particles absorb this latent heat from other particles and gain the energy. That energy is sufficient for them to convert into gaseous state. Able to understand?
Yes,
Evaporation, in evaporation, particle needs heat energy. Only surface particle which are exposed to air. Only the particle which are three sides, it is surrounded by its own particles, own similar particles, water, and one side it is air is present. So those particles which are closer to air. So those particles absorb heat energy from the remaining particles of water and convert into gaseous state. And this happens because the whole liquid has not been converted into gaseous state. So temperature of the liquid won't increase. So this process is called evaporation. Now examples, leave that part apart. Examples you can see when the clothes are washed, they have water. When you spread in air, have you provided them heat energy? Have you heated the clothes to dry them?
No, ma'am.
So where that means what happened there now? Every cloth has water. It is wet. That means it has water particles inside it. But when you spread it in air or in a shadow also, anywhere, if you spread that in one of the rope, after some time what will happen? That get completely dried up. So no water particles left in the cloth. So where that water particle gone? Where that water gone?
Gets evaporated.
It gets evaporated, converted into gaseous state. And those water remain accumulated into the air as in the form of water vapors. So moisture in the air is because of these particles. Pond, you will see the pond is created in the rainy season. Somewhere in the field, pond is created by itself. There was something pit was there and a water gets stored and the one small pond is produced. After 5-6 days, do you see that? Do you see water that place? Do you see the water at that place in the pond?
Yes, ma'am.
Water will be there after 8 days, 10 days, 1 month. So what happened to that water?
It gets evaporated.
It gets evaporated.
It's get evaporated. Swimming pool. If in your apartment swimming pool is there, every time the person needs to come and this will overload it with water. So day by day, if you keep checking the level of water in the swimming pool, will it remain same?
No, ma'am.
No, it is changing continuously. The level is depleting. Why? Because it is getting evaporated. It is not boiled. It is evaporated. We don't use the word the swimming pool water get boiled away. No, it is not boiled away. It is getting evaporated. So evaporation means the full liquid won't get converted into gaseous state at a time. layer by layer, the surface particles of the water are converted slowly, they gains energy and convert into gaseous state. So this process won't need a higher temperature. So therefore, it is not needed for the liquid to reach its boiling point, then only convert into gaseous state. Because this is happening one by one. One particle absorb energy, moves out. One particle absorb energy, move out. One particle absorb energy, moves out. So amount of heat energy required is not much because it's a very slow process. So this process is called as evaporation, which is happening naturally by its own. Intentional heating is not needed. But in boiling, we need intentional heating. We need to boil the liquid, then only it gets converted into gaseous state. And all the particles gets converted at a time. At the time of boiling, all the liquid particles are converted at a time into gaseous state. It's clear? Able to understand the difference between boiling and evaporation?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone understood?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
We'll continue evaporation next class. Next class, we'll finish this chapter. Okay, fine. You can leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ma'am,
Yes.
after the diagram of pressure, you said something about LPG gas. Can you
Yeah.
explain that again?